You have to remind yourself of how badass you really are. You take 1 second when your mind and your body are saying, we're done, we need to quit. You gotta remind yourself, hang on a second, I've overcome a hell of a lot more than this. And I have the strength to persevere, to move on, to not settle for what's in front of me. I did realize one thing. The things I don't enjoy that I still do, that's where growth is at. For me, the only place growth is at is in that very uncomfortable, in that uncomfortable zone. So I have to visit it every single day. You're gonna fail and you're gonna be in your head, you're gonna be saying, I'm not good enough. I struggled my whole life, but I ran from it. So I started realizing, man, I gotta start facing the struggle and I gotta be mentally strong for the struggle. I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for to lift 400 pounds. And I found out on my own pretty much. The only way anything gets accomplished, you gotta work hard. I can't remember what's in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read it again. Still not getting it. Read it again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And guess what happened? I got it. When you quit, your mind says we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. I had two options: to either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, or I can totally just fail and fail and fail until I succeed. Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. If you can't control your own brain, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you're You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. We surround ourselves around people that make us feel great. They tell us what we want to hear. The second we put ourselves amongst the uncommon people, we don't like that feeling. A very lonely, depressed, insecure man that would do anything just to have a friend. And I saw that as very pathetic. I'm not gonna be okay. I had to realize I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. And it was painful to look at who I was, what the world and myself created. Mine is what you created. And I started opening different doors. And the more doors I opened up, the more I started realizing that my potential is damn near endless. It changed my whole mindset. And I started working out like somebody. I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, and I built it through suffering. You guys are getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, running over here in this golf course. So I started seeing myself very differently than the average human being. I was like, hang on a second. I have something they don't have. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. That is what's gonna build me. That looks uncomfortable. That looks brutal. And getting up early, I don't wanna do that. So I made this long list of things I don't wanna do. And through that, I found myself. I always equated training to mental toughening. Like, it always looked brutal. People waking up early and doing all these things, and it looked horrible. I was like, wow, man, I gotta start doing that. Not to get better, bigger, and stronger. He said, how do you handle failure, Goggins? I said, I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as my first, second, third attempt. One thing in life, that's for sure. The valiant motherfucker. It may take a long time. No one knows their purpose because it's too loud. Find your purpose. From there, all right, you gotta start planning. People love the planning phase because it's very comfortable. Then from the planning phase, you gotta go to execution. Get to that dark place in your mind. Figure out, it may take months, it may take years. Figure out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life. And then from there, okay, I have my purpose. It may take a long time. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them. Being fine with being mediocre. You want to go back to who you were, huh, David? And say, okay, who am I? What's the truth about me? So I had a year goal, weekly goals, daily goals, hourly goals. And the big goal was I lied a lot growing up. I wanted to be accepted. One goal was, let's go one day without lying. I had tons of sticky notes all over my mirror. It wasn't like be better than John or be as fast as whoever. Okay, David, yesterday you did this. Today, our next goal for the week is this.
the things that, how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone. And you're all by yourself. You have to live in your own world. You cannot judge yourself. That's why social media and all these things are horrible. You can't judge yourself off of the so-called competition that we have made up in our mind.
No one cares what you did yesterday. You got to change your dialogue. What have you done today? The I used to be mentality doesn't work. So taking souls is just another way. It's not about hurting the person you're against. It's about finding a tactical advantage in every situation you physically can. Those are the times when you want to run and hide. You gotta be able to find energy. You gotta make up games, make up tricks, make up whatever you can to get to the next evolution of life. Because I started realizing at a young age what I was leaving on the table. And once I found out what a human being's capable of, I didn't know how to control that. A lot of times in life it's quiet. My second heart surgery, I went on a 10-mile ruck run. With my second heart surgery, the day of it, I went on a 10-mile ruck run, 50 pounds. I saw that guy. He's like, what the f you doing out here? We got heart surgery. Roger that, brother. I'm getting it in before I'm be out for about 6 months after the heart surgery. Don't let life just start attacking you left and right. Make sure that you start to build a mental armor so then you're ready for life. And that comes with a very physical way, and the physical helps out the mental. You know, tomorrow will come with some difficult decisions to make. It may come with getting a phone call saying someone died, this happened, that happened. I'm always preparing myself, not in a morbid way, but just like, look, man, be ready for life. So basically, I can't account for everything, but I do know there could be some things that come up in life that you need to be ready for. I know for a fact I'm not going to want to work out tomorrow. Therefore, I'm preparing my mind for that. And I'm thinking about all these different obstacles that may come up. So basically, a lot of us aren't prepared for life. We get up willy-nilly and just hope life is going to happen. It is going to happen, but it's going to happen with a prepared mind or an unprepared mind.
I don't see failure. I see grit, determination, drive, sacrifice. Failure means you're trying. A whole bunch of people out here never fail because they never try.
For me, my routine is every night I stretch out. And I stretch out for 2 or 3 hours every single night without fail. And while I'm stretching out, I'm thinking about my plan for the next day.
And on the other end of suffering is a world that very few have ever seen. It's a beautiful world because that's where you find yourself. You don't find yourself in over here. It made me hurt. There's no ending. And that's the person I listen to. That's the person who's gained knowledge. You gain knowledge through suffering. Doing today, tomorrow, the next day. That's why I'm listening to theorists. I'm listening to who's like this, man. What's wrong, man? I'm tired, dude. Why are you tired? Because tomorrow, I get a Duke in, man.
I work best alone, so those are easier. I have to break myself down, let people know that anyone can be who they want to be. I do them alone. You know, like I pick these hard things that most people think you can't finish anyway. You go out there, you grind, you're alone, you're in your own head. I work best alone. When you are misunderstood to the point where people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning? What's wrong? When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive.
You're lucky that you don't have to think like warriors think. You're very privileged. I chose this world to be a warrior. Now,
It's about what you're saying to yourself, but it also comes with work. So whenever I was getting beat down, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever I was going through, just saying, you know, you can't hurt me. Can't hurt me just became a message I would say to myself. We have the easy voice, which is that 20% telling yourself that I'm easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. That's that very comfortable voice, that's that mom in my head. We all have this voice. It's the right or wrong voice. And a lot of times that voice guides us into comfort. And my voice guided me into comfort a lot. But I have this other voice I heard my whole life saying, hey, what are you doing? No, man, It's like breathing. Breathing becomes normal. Like, we don't even know that we're doing it. That's how you have to live your life. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, it's just what we do.